with the season coming close to an end and everybody gearing up for the postseason, I didn't think we would be here. The Lakers didn't make the playoff, guys. Look, I'm not a toxic who or whatever fan. I'm from Alabama, bro. Like, we don't have an NBA team. Therefore, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't have a favorite team. Now, I have a favorite player, but we'll talk about that another time. Maybe in a Q&A video or something. I say all that to say this. I know the Lakers have a massive fan base, so whenever someone is critical of them, fans automatically label them toxic. However, even if you're a Laker fan, you have to admit, a unit with LeBron, AD, and Russell on one team, forget not making the playoffs. Not even playing well enough for a play-in spot? That's really bad, bro. And it's quite galvanizing, honestly. Now, I see people alluding to breaking this ball club up, which is pretty asinine in my opinion. And I'm going to elaborate on that a bit later on in this video. However, I wanted to kind of say on what I feel most people is blaming or who they're blaming. And no, I'm not talking about Frank Vogel, who I see is getting a lot of pushback. I'm talking about the ultimate scapegoat. Yep, Russell Westbrook. Now, it seems like everywhere Russell has played, he's been the main blame. And candidly, he deserved a good quantity of it. Until now. Look, I know some Laker fans about to be upset right now. But I don't think he's the main blame here. And I'm going to obviously elaborate. First, let's start with his stats. Russ averaged 18 points along with 7 rebounds and 7 assists a game. With the shooting splits of 44% from the field overall, 30% from the 3-point line, and 66% from the free throw line. Now, obviously, the shooting splits isn't the most efficient, but it's Russell Westbrook. It's who he's been his whole career. So let's just throw the efficiency aspect to the side. Let's just look at the numbers. 18, 7, and 7. Now, there's no way anybody with at least a good quantity of basketball knowledge can say that's a bad stat line for a third option. I mean, unless there's some type of bias to it. Because again, those numbers are marvelous for a third option, especially on a winning team. And I think that's where the criticism comes from. Because if the Lakers were winning and in that championship contending club, like we thought they would be, we wouldn't hear a peep. And I know in a good quantity of those games, Westbrook was asked to be more than just a third option due to multiple injuries from other star players. However, I don't know why the consensus thought in those games Russell was going to turn back into prime Russell Westbrook. That's not who the Lakers signed. Westbrook is still a very capable player, especially in the right system, and an all-star caliber player in this league. He just isn't the MVP caliber Russell Westbrook anymore. And fans shouldn't expect that level of play from him. Now, turnovers, I don't even want to get into those. Because as repetitive as it sounds, again, it's Russell Westbrook. I mean, he averages 4.1 turnovers a game for his career. We've seen this over and over and over again from him. So why act galvanized? I'm not saying that Russell doesn't deserve any blame here, but what I am saying is, don't condemn Russell for being Russell. This is who he's always been, but it's not on a lesser degree because again, he's not what he used to be. The Lakers organization was aware of that and still signed him. They also traded away key pieces like Kyle, Montrez, and Caldwell Pope. Now, was this Lakers team not making the playoffs a massive fail? Of course. And does this add a little stain to LeBron's legacy? Maybe a little. The expectations for this Lakers team was to be in that championship contending group. And LeBron was buying into it, telling people who were criticizing their age or their potential chemistry to keep the same energy. And now he has to keep the same energy because this is a major fail on him and the Lakers end. Now, is it as drastic as some fans are trying to make it? No. But it is something we're going to look back at, and especially when discussing or debating the GOAT conversation. And it could play a pivotal facet within that conversation, honestly. Because again, you're not going to tell me a team with 5 Hall of Famers, 3 still playing at an extremely high level, and the other 2 still playing really well, should not make the playoffs, or even the play-in. Even with some of the unfortunate injuries, they still should have made the playoffs. Even if they were a lower seed than expected, you still wouldn't be able to criticize them the way that fans and analysts are at the moment, because you would have to take injuries into consideration. But yeah, I could have went into a bunch of different stats to highlight why this season was such a fail for the Lakers. But why? You know, like everything you need to know about this team is as surface level as it gets. They were just bad, man. And you don't need a bunch of numbers to tell you that. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I'm out.